So today on the run, we're just going to jump right into it. Yesterday, had a pretty good day. A lot of stuff was going right. A lot of stuff seemed to start getting better. And I've been listening to this mentorship program podcast. And I've been taking steps to try to change my life and do better things. So yesterday texts came through and they were like perfect timing texts. People from my past ended up reaching out to me, and we're going to be getting together soon, and it feels really good to be able to reconnect with people, and especially the people that, as they sit there and then they explain their life and everything that's happening and what their job path is, everything starts to line up. You start to see the universe actually start to line up, and it's pretty crazy what your mindset can really fucking show you. The steps you take, the actions you make, and all of a sudden life's changing. So yesterday, an old friend, Alex, ended up hitting me up in the morning, and it's somebody that I haven't talked to in, I don't know, gotta be 17 years or so. It's been a long time. The last messages we had were in 2017, and it was just a couple like, hey, and then a month later saying, hey, back, and come on. Atlas, chill. Atlas, hey, sit. It's all right. Is she friendly? Okay. Hey, it's okay. Okay, we're just going to continue on. Let's go. Come on. It's okay. No, you're all right. Good boy. That's good. Good. Come on. Oh, I think she's following. Here, I'll walk back this way. Yes. Another puppy,
She's
huh?
a good girl. She sees your dog every day.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
in my window.
You wanted to meet?
Come here. Come here.
I know.
Yeah, you want to go first.
It's okay.
She's such a lover.
Yeah, he is too. He's never snapped on anybody, but I don't like the sticking up in the hair in the back here.
Oh, she's in heat right now.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
So
that is what it is. That is what it is.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine. I get why she's going. Have a great day, guys. No, you're fine. Come on. Gonna have to edit all that out. But anyways, old friend messages me, and he's going through a rough time. It could use the extra cash, and he started an LLC where he's a mobile mechanic. Well, turns out that my car, a deer ran into my car, and thankfully everybody's okay. But months later, the person that ended up not being able to fix my car and help me out drops it off at my house. And a few days later, what happens is an old buddy that's going through a hard time that could use the extra cash and friendship and everything else. It's just, it put itself together. And then at the same time, like as I'm sitting there just filled with anxiety, this mentor guy that I'm listening to that I haven't paid a dime ends up reading my message. And yeah, maybe it's one of his team, maybe it's him, maybe it's really him. Who knows? It doesn't matter. The message is what matters. And that message helped me think differently for the first time and actually be able to hone my fucking fears and just not let them control my actions. And when that came through, I started going through some of the old emails that were sent, and there was a Zoom meeting invite that I got from him. And before that, I was riddled with anxiety because my ex-girlfriend is coming over, who, I love dearly. Everybody knows this at this point. And she's coming over to walk the dog and pick up the kid, and all I got is hope that she's going to ask me to go with her. And, I just kept thinking like, oh, she's not going to ask. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to cry in my house and I'm going to be miserable and everything else. And then that message came through and it just changed. It helped me fucking do the change that I really fucking needed to do. That my fears are not what control my actions. So when she came over, she didn't ask. She ended up needing to use a leash for my dog anyways. And we ended up having a decent conversation. And then she took the kid. The kid ended up hitting her knee. They came back. I gave her an ice pack and a Band-Aid. And then they went out to lunch. And then she came back. And my daughter had said some stuff that, struck tears in both of our eyes. And that thing is, what every kid wants when their parents aren't together. That's for them to get back together. And so I walked away. I gave them some space. And Brooklyn ended up talking her in to stay. And we did some science experiments last night. We did a volcano and a flip cup water thing. The entire time, she was just seemed so out of place. Completely opened my eyes, and I started to understand why she left. And in that moment, in that instance, I actually felt like I truly forgave her and understand why she left. And there was no more, like in that moment, as I seen it, as she's sitting there tapping her fingers on the table, jiggling up her legs up and down, standing up, pacing, twirling, shaking her hips back and forth, checking her phone. It's like, I see, if that's how I felt, of course, like, why wouldn't you leave? And you wanna go potty? I'll go out here for a minute. Now that there's not a bunch of snow. And in that moment, I forgave her, and I understood why. And there was this huge release of pressure, of stress, and understanding for the first time. And at that point, I still had this sadness, but it was no longer multiple different types of high anxiety sadness. It all went to just loneliness at that point. Like at this point I just felt alone. And then I did this Zoom call, and they have a mentorship program, and I've been telling my moms, my loved ones, my family, everybody, that I wanted to get therapy. And I was just thinking, like, I know all my mistakes, I know all my problems, and the only thing that therapy ever did was just, show those to me. Therapy never really helped me actually heal and make different choices and do any of that. It just told me all my problems and basically was told that I had to accept who I was. And I just didn't agree with that. I feel like everything is, you can learn how to be the person that you want to be. And I've always felt that, because I don't like the tendencies that I have learned. And then as you start to look back in therapy, they start to show you like where a lot of your problems reside, which, you know, I've got a lot of problems from my childhood, which I went over a few days ago in a different run. And that stuff is slowly being forgiven, and I'm slowly working through, and I'm making those mistakes a lot less every single day. Sure, I make them. I still make them every day. But then I went through and I signed up for the mentorship. The mentorship costs $1,000 for the next 3 months. You know, therapy is I think it was $262 a month for me. I was already looking at paying almost $800 anyways, or over $800, close to $800. And I was like, well, this is what I think I need. These are the actions that I wanted to take for a super long time, is to find somebody to help me. Like, I go through every job and I learn so well and I learn so fast, and the people teach me. And so that's my next step. Sign up for this mentorship. And as soon as I signed up for this mentorship, as soon as I started making the choices and the actions that I wanted to take, I didn't feel lonely anymore. I felt like I was enough for myself for the first time. I'm finally trying to be the person that I want to be, and I'm willing to accept the help that I need. And with the investment, it's only $1,000, and I'm going to have somebody on my ass daily helping me, making sure that I'm sticking to my goals and being the person that I want to be. So as we go down, morning.
Hey, nice dog.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Cal?
Right?
Yes, it is. It's beautiful. You have a wonderful day. And so oh man, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so as I am starting to take these steps, my first Zoom call was at 10 o'clock this morning, and my first Zoom call with the person going through this mentorship was basically a therapy session. Everything that you would go, you'd sit down, you'd tell about your life, you'd tell them, you know, what you want and everything else. It all got to start out the same. And, you know, I've been to, man, I don't even know, but it's got to be, I want to say 13 different therapists. Like, I've been to many, many different therapists, and there's been one when I was 21, 22 years old that I went to, and he is the first one to actually help me realize my problems. And since then, and I went to him for a little bit, and since then, like, I've always known I had problems, and from what everybody says, you just have to accept who you are. And I hated that I had problems, but I had to accept who I was. So I just continued to be that person and ruin relationship after relationship, ruin friendship after friendship, run away, just never being able to accept myself or be willing to bring my true self out around people. It's ruined so much in my life, and not willing to accept other people for the things they do, and to understand where they're coming from and why, and to just be the person to just go and put your hand on their shoulder and say, I am here for you. It does not matter what you're going through, but I am here for you. And to just let them break down, vent, and you have no opinion. You just let them know that you are there. And I'm finally feeling vulnerable. for the first time in so long. Letting my walls drop, not being afraid to do or take an action, thinking things through a lot better, especially throughout the whole day today. I haven't felt any sadness whatsoever. And generally between 11 and 1 o'clock, I'm at my worst, barely holding it together. And for the last 2-3 days before that, I wasn't holding it together. I took so many fucking steps back. I literally restarted from 2-3 weeks ago on multiple of my mistakes. And all that pain just flooded back in, and I had to completely start over. Completely. And if it wasn't for the choices and actions that I made, I would still have to work for that 2-3 weeks, re-listening to the same stuff that I already listened to get my head back straight, instead of having the help, instead of letting somebody else teach me versus being the teacher when I got no fucking idea. Just like all the people out there in the world that are successful, they'll tell you, how do you become successful? You go and ask the successful people how they did it, and then that's the steps you take. That's how you be successful. You go out and you want to know how these people have, amazing lives, and you want that amazing life, and you want to have a great family and have your children love you and everything else. Morning. Atlas? Yep. Thank you. Year and 8 months. Have a wonderful day. Yeah. And just not feeling so alone, feeling like the day today is a bright day. Yesterday was a good day. It was one of the best days. I mean, there was just so much stuff, like the universe just kept showing me sign after sign, like, hey man, you're heading down the right fucking road. Like, look at everything that's fucking happening. And I want to say that it's not because I'm at my worst or thinking bad or anything like that and just trying to fucking knock me out of my funk. It is literally like, as I think good, as I sit there and say, this is what I need to do, these are the steps that I need to take, all of a sudden the universe shows me a sign that you are doing the stuff that you need to do. You're going down the right road. And it makes me feel like I'm doing good by myself for the first time, because nobody in this world is going to be able to fix you unless you want to fix you. You are the only person. And so when we're out doing this stuff and we're talking about this stuff, like tonight I'm going out with my ex and my kid, and we're going out to see a musical, going to see Disney on Ice. And it's going to be one of the most special moments that I've had in my life. And yesterday I was riddled with anxiety that she was coming over to give the dog a walk, and now I have no anxiety of when I go and see her, because now I understand. Now I don't feel alone. Now I'm not riddled with anxiety. Sign after sign, as I start saying good things, as I start doing good things, as I start being respectful, as I stop having my negative tendencies that I've always had in my life, stuff gets better. Last night, you want to go for a little bit longer? Last night I woke up at 4 a.m. with that thought. And that thought resonated with me. I was sleeping, I was dreaming, and this dream was so vivid, and it was about, my ex being back home. And I was out in the kitchen, I was cooking all of us breakfast, I was singing and dancing with the kid was helping me with the breakfast, and she had to be, 7, 8 years old, couple of years, I'm still in this house, and I'm like, this just does not make sense. This is not where I wanted to be. This is not what I seen myself. And like, I was starting to look in, so I, like, in this dream, while I was sitting there having these thoughts in this dream, weird, I walk into the room and she's packing her stuff again. She's getting it all out, and I was like, whoa, 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 wait, slow down. What is happening, and why are we doing this? And she said, because you are not willing to understand or accept any of my beliefs. And instantly, right away, I woke up. Dream was over. I looked at my closet, and I stood out of bed. I walked to the living room, and I wrote that down, because that became my number one fucking problem. And it's not because that's what's going to happen. It's literally because the universe, my mindset, is now showing me what my number one problem is. For the first time, I'm finally willing to fucking listen. I'm willing to understand. I'm willing to change my life. And when I woke up, I didn't have fear. I didn't have worry. I didn't have anguish. I didn't have anything but the feeling to myself, the feeling of love for the first real time as I thought I felt it. And now, like, to not have the dark, deep pit in my heart, I see the other side, and I ain't fucking going back. Best believe that. My life has been good yesterday, all throughout the night, and I had made mistakes, but today I made a hell of a lot less, and I'm going to continue to do those things. Of course, my dog got into the trash and chewed up a bunch of toys of my kids, all that stuff. And today, I raised my voice a little bit. I didn't yell and scream at him. Much better. I picked up the stuff and I said, next time, I'm going to make sure that you don't have anything to get into. I looked around the house before I left again. Just the little things that are going to make your life easier, that are going to make your life filled with more love. And all you got to do is just take care of it yourself. And on the run, we don't run from our damn problems. We fix them, because I'm telling you what, once you start to take those steps to actually fixing your problems, life gets easier, it gets better, and you feel so much more joy. So don't run away, run to them.